What's going on, guys? I want to get with you on another quick recap. Trading futures today. I made a couple trades, but I'm going to show the trade that worked out the best and made the most money. So we're looking at NQ mini contracts. If you're not familiar with futures, I'm not going to get too much into that. But 4 mini contracts equals 1 micro contract, and I typically trade the minis. It just works better for my risk management, and I can buy more contracts, which allows me to sell some of my position and let some of my position run instead of just buying one contract of the micros. We're looking at NQ here on the 5-minute chart. Very choppy all around, pretty much most of the day. I had a little scalp earlier in the day. And then a little bit before lunchtime, I was watching this area right here, this 21,282. I'm sorry, this 21,282. We were holding up really well. My plan was if we broke below that I would short it and target this area down here where we held support again. And then what I do with that is I add in confluence. So we're watching some of the other stuff in the tech sector. Up here I have NVIDIA, pretty much the same pattern right here as far as the drop down, and then also watching Apple. So NVIDIA and Apple both broke below a support area here on the 5-minute time frame at the same time that NQ dropped. They're both below their moving averages, so I used those two tech stocks to help me enter my trade. Here we started to bounce right here at that support area. As you can see here, we have multiple touches at that 21,282 area. We started to bounce on this candle right here, and then we got the follow through, and that is where I entered my trade. I put a little bit of a stop just above this wick here, and then we broke down below that support area. And once I hit 20 points, I started to trim my position. I got down to my target. I trimmed more of my position, and I let the last one run. So my thought process here is if we didn't break below this last low here of the day, if we didn't break below that, then I'm out of the position. And we were able to break that and fall quite a bit more, or fall down quite a bit more. And then we quickly rejected and bounced. And I put my stop back here where it broke down below this 21,220, and we kind of really held up at 21,200. It was trying to find a whole number for support, and once it started to bounce back up back to right there where it broke down, I exited the rest of the trade. And if you go back over to NVIDIA and Apple, they also did the same thing. They started to bounce at the same time. So I'm making sure multiple things are in my favor. We also had negative news. The overall market was down, so there's no reason for me to be bullish today and look for a long trade. So I was pretty much only looking for short trades. These two stocks were below their moving averages. They broke support at the same time that NQ broke support, and that is when I entered my trade. You can see here I had a pickup in volume, and then once it turned around and started to bounce, the volume picked up, confirming the bounce right here. I don't do too much reversal trading, but this could have been a good reversal trade. For example, once it broke back above the support area, and you kind of broke above this range right here of these last two candles, or you could look to break this range here. I have a rule that I don't go long below the moving averages, so that doesn't really follow under my guidelines. There's another trade here. We broke above the 50 moving averages and kind of pushed up toward the high of day. I made some pretty good money today, so I didn't want to take any chances of giving back any profit. But super easy, simple setup, just using confluence with the overall market and using the tech stocks like Apple, AMD, Microsoft, NVIDIA. When they're all going the same direction as NQ, that really confirms my bias of my short or my long position.